Coming in at number 10 today, we have Megan Fox. Because kindness still isn't universal online, Megan Fox has had to deal with some pretty nasty comments with some disrespectful fans. However, the star has also shot back some pretty sarcastic comments with fans to prove she's not the nicest person to deal with. Even crew members on the Transformers set have noted it was unbearable and ungracious to work with the star. When the 3 anonymous crew members who work with Megan on the blockbuster film came forward to talk about their time working on the set with her, they would become an open book and they would brand Megan as a dumb, ungracious, rude, and unbearable actress, and that it was just the tip of the toxic iceberg that they melted. The crew members went on to explain that after working for 12 months on set making 2 movies with the star, she showed little interest in the crew members around her, and while the crew worked extremely hard to make her look good in every single way, she never appreciated anyone's hard work and she never even said thank you. After she would be replaced after the second Transformers movie, after being difficult to work with, Megan would try to defend herself by saying the director, Michael Bay, was actually the nightmare to work with. However, once the crew members came forward anonymously against Megan, it would show the star was definitely someone you don't want to communicate with in Hollywood. Number 9, Cameron Diaz. Cameron Diaz is known for her work in Charlie's Angels and countless romantic comedies. However, she isn't known for being pleasant during fan interactions. If you were maybe looking to get an autograph from the star one day, you might just want to rethink that thought, as Cameron isn't afraid to refuse to give any fan a lecture on how dumb autographs are. During the red carpet event for the premiere of X-Tape, several eyewitnesses would come forward to say how awful Cameron was to her admirers. Fans have also explained that her behavior and attitude with them was absolutely disgusting. After fans waited hours for a chance to meet her, they would be ignored and some would even be lectured. Cameron at one point even yelled at one of her fans by saying, "If I did it for you, I'd have to do it for everyone," before storming off. Cameron is known to be pretty unfriendly with her fans, and it's honestly pretty disappointing. However, she wouldn't be the only one to be rude and show terrible attitude towards fans during the X-Tape premiere, as Jason Segel would also be extremely rude to their fans who were there admiring the movie and them. With there only being 4 to 5 fans actually waiting for them, it would have taken less time for them to take a few photos and sign a couple autographs than it did to lecture their fans. Hey Peaches, are you enjoying this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Coming in at number 8 today, we have Rihanna. So in 2014, Rihanna would come under fire as it would be discovered that she was cyberbullying a 16-year-old fan over her prom outfit. So Alexis Carter took style inspiration from Rihanna for her Hollywood-themed prom at her Baltimore high school in 2010. So the look Alexis tried to recreate was a look where Rihanna wore a head-turning teal wing jumpsuit. So Alexis loved this look so much that she decided to create her own version of the outfit, and then she would share some of the photos of her prom ensemble on social media. When memes quickly started to take off showing the teen extending her arms and the material with the wings on full display. In one of the shots, she's shown next to a really glamorous red carpet photo of Rihanna in the exact same outfit, with a caption saying Instagram versus real life comparison outfits. Another set of photos would also go viral with Alexis's pose, and she would be pictured next to a curved W of the Wu-Tang symbol. Rihanna would then share the images on her Twitter account, adding a frowny face to the one comparison photo of her. When the singer went to great lengths to put the pictures up side by side mocking the fan, other fans would come to tell Riri that her move was uncool. However, when Rihanna posted a comparison photo of Alexis's dress with the Wu-Tang symbol, saying she gets it, we can't imagine anything more humiliating for a 16-year-old than to be mocked by your idol. And number 7, Hailey Bieber. Hailey Bieber got slammed over social media after a viral TikTok claimed that she was rude to a former restaurant hostess, Julia Carolyn. In the video, Julia would say that this is going to be controversial. I met Hailey a handful of times and every time she was just not nice. I really want to like her, but I have to give her 3.5 out of 10. Sorry. After Hailey found out about the video, she would end up taking to the comments to say, just came across this video and wanted to say sorry if I've ever given you bad vibes or bad attitude. That's not my intention. She also added that she hopes to one day meet the hostess again to apologize in person. Afterwards, Hailey would then open up and say she felt bad about Julia's experience with her and that it wasn't the greatest and that the whole situation actually made her frustrated because you never know what someone's going through. Hailey then tried to explain that she was going through some pretty tough times and she was sad and heartbroken and felt like engaging with people was really hard for her. She wished she didn't act that way and that she made a mistake out of character for her, but if it happened on on every occasion that you met her, do you really expect us to believe that it was really out of character for you? Coming in at number 6, Kendall Jenner. Now, Hailey wouldn't be the only celebrity that Julia would call out, as in 2 videos posted to her TikTok, she would reveal that she didn't have the best interactions with Kendall and Kylie Jenner. With Kendall being one of the most low-key members of the family, she's exhibited some pretty outrageous diva behavior in the past. In 2014, the model would find herself making headlines after finding herself in a situation with Mercer Kitchen in New York City. Jenner would be dining with her best friend, Hailey Bieber, and she got upset at the fact that the staff didn't want to serve her any more alcohol, so she decided it'd be a good idea to leave the establishment without paying for her meal. When she got confronted by the staff, she would then throw $20 at them without even checking to see if that was enough to cover her bill and her tip. 3 years after the initial dine and dash, Kendall would find herself under fire again after she failed to tip. When the establishment posted a picture of the receipt on their Instagram page, they would say, "Don't forget to tip your bartender." Kendall would then try to cover up her tracks by saying, "Next time we won't tip in cash." While it's hard to believe what actually happened in both of these separate events, Julia did reveal on her TikTok that Kendall doesn't talk to the staff and her behavior never really comes across well for those in the restaurant industry. And number 5, Jason Segel. Following the premiere of X Tape at Union Square Theater in New York back in 2014, Jason Segel would find himself under fire for being unbelievably rude to fans who had shown up to support him in the new film. Eyewitnesses would later tell gossip sites that when Cameron Diaz and Jason were leaving the theater with a handful of fans asking for photos or autographs, the 2 celebrities just opted to treat them like dirt. The witnesses would even point out, while there was only 4 to 5 fans waiting, it's not like the fans were following them, as it was a premiere for fans to attend. However, both stars' attitudes towards the fans were absolutely disgusting. When a 20-year-old fan asked Jason for a photo when he was leaving the premiere, Jason would scream no, and he would literally slam the car door right in the fan's face. People in the crowd would then gasp to acknowledge how bad the moment actually was. Jason was downright nasty to his fan when there was no need for it. As there wasn't a huge crowd of people waiting for the stars, it was only 4 to 5 people, and it would have taken them less time to interact with the fans than it was to give them each lectures and slam doors in their face. So while Hollywood has painted him to be the sweet guy next door with the characters he plays, he's definitely not the guy we thought he was. And number 4, we have Jennifer Lawrence. So Jennifer Lawrence is known for her relatable personality and sense of humor. However, she hasn't always been super nice to her fans, and she's even admitted that she can actually be quite rude to her fans, so she can avoid interacting with them. Which is actually a pretty odd behavior if you think about it. Jennifer has said that her fearless approach to life doesn't come across well in the public eye. And in 2016, Jennifer would even lash out at a reporter for no reason because he was looking at his phone during a press conference instead of paying attention to her. She's even tried to explain that the reason she acts so rude is because it's the only way she knows how to defend herself, as she gets really protective about her private space. So if you see her out for dinner and you think it's a good idea to flash a couple photos on your iPhone, just know she's a really rude person and she might just call you out on it. She definitely doesn't want to, but she will do it. So people in the future, leave her alone because she's not your friend. And number 3, Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock may play these compassionate, caring characters, however, that doesn't mean that her real self is as kind or giving. And she's actually been described by many fans as one of the meanest people in Hollywood to meet. While the star refuses to make time for people, she was once considered to be one of America's sweethearts. However, her rude behavior has caused her to lose that title. In 2014, Denise Coates told Star magazine that she was out with her husband, who happens to be a war veteran, when they ran into Sandra in Boston while she was filming The Heat. Sandra was on a filming break, and when Denise and her husband approached her, Sandra just ended up being extremely rude. She would cover her face and would even start yelling at the couple and threw insults at the man in the wheelchair after they just asked her for an autograph. Now sure, we get it. Not all celebrities have time to greet their fans because they're on this busy schedule, and we understand it can be annoying when they're hounded by mobs of fans. However, with it being just a single wheelchair-bound veteran and his wife approaching you in a polite request, did the autograph really warrant a yelling match? She could have just turned down the request. Instead, she just shocked us all with her rude response. And number 2, Tobey Maguire. When Tobey Maguire had a pretty bad gambling habit, he was reportedly part of the infamous poker ring with Molly Bloom. Now, Molly organized games many Hollywood superstars attended, mid in the early 2000s, but Tobey was one of her most frequent visitors. In her memoir Molly's Game, which was made into a movie, she would reveal that Tobey was one of the worst tippers, best players, and absolute worst loser. Molly would also reveal that Tobey once tried to humiliate her when she was at the tables by demanding that she should bark like a seal who wants fish in order to earn $1,000 in poker chips, all because he thought she was making a little too much money that night. When the poker game organizer added that she just tried to laugh it off, the actor continued to persist, and he would go on to say, "I'm not kidding. What's wrong? You're too rich now? You won't bark for $1,000? What makes this incident even more funnier is Tobey would even refuse to play without a shuffle master, which is like a $17,000 device that's supposed to deliver a fair random shuffle, and he even tried charging the machine for rent as he wanted $200 a night every time it was used. And coming at number 1 today, we have Christina Aguilera. Now, Christina Aguilera may be a vocal powerhouse, however, rumor has it that the star hasn't always been the nicest when it comes to her fans, and she can actually get pretty nasty with people auditioning or performing on The Voice. When Christina was still a judge on The Voice, she would even go as far to scold one of the contestants because he wasn't paying super close attention to her critiques. With the singer repeatedly asking the male singer to take off his pants, he thinks she would have stopped after asking him for the 3rd time. And her behavior would just get more worse as the show went on, as her attitude reportedly didn't even stop when the fans were actually famous themselves. Even actress Valerie Bertolini said that she once approached Christina to say, "Oh my god, I think you're a beautiful singer," and she would claim that Christina paid no attention to her comment and just said "yeah, whatever" before walking away. Coming at number 10, we have Kim Kardashian. The theme for the 2022 Met Gala was gilded glamour, and for Kim Kardashian this meant wearing one of Marilyn Monroe's dresses, which happened to be the dress that Marilyn wore when she sang "Happy Birthday" to President John F. Kennedy. Then later there would be conflicting reports that started to headline the media as they claimed that she damaged the dress that she only wore on the red carpet because it didn't fit her correctly, and then she changed into a replica dress inside the event, which led us all to question why did she have to wear the original to begin with. While Ripley's did claim that the dress was damaged beforehand and Kim never damaged the iconic gown, before and after photos would prove otherwise. Not to mention, she also repeatedly bragged about her weight loss to fit into the garment. In the end, Monroe's fans were extremely upset that the fact Kim used part of the late star's legacy for this, and historic preservationists even were upset that the dress was damaged, and critics of diet culture were angry about Kim's harmful dieting tips. Number 9, Kendall Jenner. It's clear that Kendall is not someone who spends most of her time in the kitchen. During an episode from her family's new TV series, The Kardashians, the star would expose herself after she proved that she's probably never used a knife to cut her own vegetables a day in her life. In a now viral clip, Kendall could be seen in the kitchen wanting to make herself a snack in front of her mother, Kris Jenner, who awkwardly sat there dumbfounded when Kendall attempted to navigate what most can do before they're even a legal adult. At one point, you can even see Kris was concerned for her daughter's fingers when she cautiously watched before saying, "Do you want the chef to make you a snack?" Instead of holding the knife with her dominant hand and the cucumber in her other, the model reached her arm over the knife to grip the opposite side of the vegetable and then proceeded to cut inward, directing the slices to fall towards herself. While most would chuckle at an offer of professional hired chef being called in to simply chop up a cucumber for a 26-year-old woman, after witnessing Kendall attempt to do it on her own, it was pretty sad. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Number 8, Doja Cat. So do you remember the time when Doja Cat slid into Noah Schnapp's DMs just after season 4 of the hit Netflix series Stranger Things was released? While many of us were crushing on Joseph Quinn, who played Eddie Munson, it appears that Doja Cat wanted to get him before anyone else did, so she decided the best way to do it was to slide into the DMs of Joseph's co-star, Noah Schnapp, to see if Joseph was single, and then proceeded to ask Noah to send her a link on his Instagram. The internet then began to rage as Noah is still considered a child and Doja is a full-grown woman. Noah then responded by sending Doja the link, and then he decided it was too weird, so he read the DMs out loud for for his TikTok fans to hear. In the end, Doja Cat would then be furious that Noah decided to expose her and described his actions as him being a borderline snake. Eventually, Noah did have a good laugh and he did apologize to Doja Cat for exposing the video, and then he went on to delete the video. But not before the internet called out Doja Cat for being 29 years old and messaging a 17-year-old. Like, come on, Chrissy, just wake up and realize that wasn't okay. Number 7, Adam Levine. Back in September, Adam Levine would be plastered all over the headlines after model Sumner Stroff exposed Adam Levine in a series of shocking TikTok videos. Just shortly after Adam and his wife announced they were expecting their 3rd child. In the videos, Sumner would claim that she and Adam had an affair, and she even provided screenshots of their conversations as proof so people knew she wasn't lying. In the beginning, Adam would then try to deny the affair, and he took to his Instagram to write a statement which said, "I use poor judgment in speaking with anyone other than my wife in any kind of flirtatious matter. I've not had an affair, nevertheless, I crossed the line during a regrettable period of my life." Sumner clearly wasn't happy with Adam's statement, and then she came out with another TikTok video to claim Adam even asked her if it was okay to name his unborn child after her. And she urged for someone to get him a dictionary so he could look up the definition of cheating. Number 6, Ned Fulmer. Adding to the storm of cheating scandals on September 27th, the internet content creators known as the Try Guys would announce that one of the members, who happens to be Ned Fulmer, would be leaving the groups following reports that Ned had an affair with one of his employees, Alex Herring, after a Reddit user shared now deleted screenshots of a video that appeared to feature Ned making out with the Try Guys associate producer at a bar in New York City. As the clip started to circulate around the internet, more videos and photos would also start to circulate of Alex and Ned on dates that looked pretty intimate, and people who posted the images even said they sent them to his wife because they were concerned. This would then force the Try Guys to post a statement which said Ned was no longer working with the Try Guys as a result of a thorough internal review. We do not see a path moving forward together. Soon after the announcement, the Try Guys even switched out their profile picture of all 4 members with the company's official logo across Instagram and Twitter before making an additional video statement clarify that they were blindsided by the news of Ned's behavior. Number 5, Will Smith. At the Oscars on March 27, 2022, Will Smith would show us all that there was something concerning going on with his mental health and state of being as he exposed his darker side. During Chris Rock's speech, he would opt to make an inappropriate joke about Jada Pinkett's shaved head. The joke clearly didn't sit well with Will, as Jada has been suffering from a condition called alopecia. So he took to the stage and smacked Rock across the face. As producers scrambled backstage, Smith would return to his seat and remain there until he accepted his award for Best Actor for his role in the film King Richard. The internet would then start to explode with their opinions on the matter, and while the Smith family mostly stayed offline, well, except for Jada, the Academy would end up banning Will from attending the ceremony for 10 years, though he can still be nominated and win an Oscar. After the ceremony, Will would make an official apology to Chris, and he would then enter into a rehabilitation facility to help him work on his mental health. Number 4, Sydney Sweeney. On August 27, Sydney Sweeney would take to her Instagram to post some images of her mother Lisa's Western-themed 60th birthday celebration, and would expose her family with photos that showed some of the relatives wearing Make America Great Again hats and Blue Lives Matter t-shirts. While the actress did not appear to make any political statements herself, while most people started to go crazy in the actor's comments, one person claiming that the actress exposed her family's political views, another asked why she was kicking it with people wearing Blue Lives Matter merch. Sydney would then later come out to say, "You guys, this is wild. An innocent celebration for my mom's milestone 60th birthday party has turned into an absurd political statement, which was not the intention. Please stop making assumptions. Much love to everyone and happy birthday, Mom." However, you can't really ask your fans to stop making assumptions when there's nothing really to assume, and no matter what the occasion is, it's never okay to wear any of this merchandise items, and each of her family was wearing these because it was a country-themed party. but hate isn't country. Number 3. Kris Jenner. Roughly 6 months after Kanye West's feud with his ex-wife Kim Kardashian started, in September, Kanye would go after the reality TV star, and this time he would drag Kris Jenner into things and confirm that she was really the one who released Kim's tape. After Kanye hopped back onto his platform after months of disappearing, he would share several explosive messages towards Kim, and in the process he would express his disapproval towards Kim's parenting styles as he accused her of playing games with their 4 children. In Kanye's post, he would also claim that he wanted to take control over his kids in their future by declaring, "My kids are going to Donda, they are not going to Sierra Canyon," foretelling Kris to grab her mother effing popcorn. Things would then take another turn when Kanye started to point out that Kris Jenner encourages her daughters, mainly Kim and Kylie, to appear in adult magazines and release their infamous tapes, as he was scared Kris would make his own kids participate in the same endeavors in the future. Number 2. Amber Heard. 2022 was a big year for Amber Heard, as it would be the year the star would crash and burn after all of her lies were exposed. While Amber was hoping her dark past wouldn't catch up to her, it certainly did, and when her biggest secret was exposed after she tried to ruin Johnny Depp's career, while Amber was trying to claim that she was a public figure representing domestic abuse. However, during one point of the trial, Amber's lawyer, Ben Rottenborn, presented his opening statements where he presented a Milani Cosmetics all-in-one correcting kit to the jury and claimed that Amber had used this very concealer and correcting kit to hide and cover her bruises. However, that makeup brand wasn't even out, and it exposed Amber's lies by saying in a statement it couldn't be true because their product wasn't even available until after Amber and Johnny had gotten a divorce. In the statement, Ben said, "This is what she used. She became very adept at it." Amber and Johnny got divorced in 2016, which was before Milani's Cosmetic even launched that specific product, as it didn't come out until 2017, which means Amber lied. Number 1. Olivia Wilde. For months, the headlines have been filled with an alleged on-set feud between Olivia Wilde and Florence Pugh on set of Olivia's film Don't Worry Darling, and rumors didn't paint Olivia to be as charming or sweet as we were all led to believe in the past. Despite much of the cast attempts to dampen the rumors, the tension between the two were apparently so bad that some crew members even started to claim that they had a screaming match on set. And Olivia's former nanny would even say that apparently in the beginning, Florence and Harry were close and it drove Olivia nuts, and she complained to her fiance, Jason Sudeikis, and then when she left Jason for Harry and kept taking Harry away from set, this drove Florence nuts. And then Olivia got into a feud with Shia LaBeouf before hiring Harry Styles to replace him, and she claimed that she fired Shia to keep Florence safe, but then Shia would release their text messages where you could see Olivia making fun of Florence, and you can also see why Shia quit, because he was done with Olivia's nonsense.
Number 10. Amber Heard. According to the internet, Amber Heard is not only an actress, but she's also a humanitarian and a social activist. Okay, sure. She got her big film break starring in the horror movie All the Boys Love Mandy Lane, but I was genuinely shocked when I saw what movies she's also been in. Did you guys know that she was 406 in the movie Zombieland? And she was Seth Rogen's love interest in Pineapple Express. Oh, and she's the reason that Aquaman 2 is gonna be delayed. Since 2016, Amber Heard and her ex-husband Johnny Depp have been throwing accusations at each other left and right. They were accusing each other of domestic altercations that may or may not have taken place during their brief one-year marriage. Those accusations were confirmed during their very public trial, in which Depp was suing Amber for defamation over a 2018 op-ed for the Washington Post. While the trial brought to light some disturbing truths on both sides, the biggest shock came when, after several days of interviews, witness statements, and mountains of paperwork, a jury found that Amber's statements were in fact false and granted Depp the defamation. Amber had filed a countersuit, which she also kinda technically won, but it was way less than what Johnny got. Sound files, video footage, and witnesses gave concrete evidence that Amber was the instigator in many of their disputes, and that she was subsequently fired from any and all future projects. Number 9. Ellen DeGeneres. In her first on-air appearance since announcing the end of her eponymous daytime talk show, Ellen DeGeneres called the press cycle around allegations of toxicity at her workplace orchestrated and misogynistic. The announcement that her show would be cancelled came after months of receiving negative press following a BuzzFeed BuzzFeed article reporting former employees alleging the environment was racially insensitive, filled with harassment, and, hey, bullying too. Ellen maintained in interviews that these allegations were not the reason that she would be leaving the show, simply claiming that the program was no longer challenging for her. While the BuzzFeed report did not allege toxic behavior by Ellen herself, several former staff members claimed the whole "Be Kind" motto was not genuine at all, which was reflected in a Twitter thread published by comedian Kevin T. Porter. He asked people to send in their horror stories about the host's rudeness over the years and received over 2,000 replies. Warner Brothers opened an investigation and included that there were some flaws in the day-to-day management of the studio. Following this, Ellen appeared on the 18th season premiere of her show in 2020 and made an on-air apology to viewers, claiming responsibility, later stating that there was no way that she could know the true nature of the work environment due to the 255 employees that worked for her across multiple buildings. Ever heard of a complaint box? Number 8. Katy Perry collects hair. The singer was once asked during an interview a very simple and cute question of, hey, what's in your purse? And fans perhaps hoped that she would respond with like a bottle of Killer Queen, which was her, cologne or cupcake crumbs, but Katy Perry answered with, oh, it's just a big empty bag, and then went on to describe what used to be in it. You see, she claimed that while in attendance at her first Grammy Award ceremony that she got to share a dressing room with Miley Cyrus and Taylor Swift. Now, with all that excitement, you'd think she'd ask for a picture, right? Yeah, no, she asked them for a lock of each of their hair, which Katy found, quote, like totally awesome, but hey, that's weird because ugh. She then elaborated that she would tie little bows to each of them and like put them in her purse. This sounds so made up, like how could that be true? No, Miley and Taylor actually backed that story up online, and Perry claims to this day that Miley Cyrus is the most famous person in her purse and in her contact books. Nice. Number 7. Jussie Smollett. In 2019, American actor Jussie Smollett, best known for his role in the Mighty Ducks movies and his time as Jamal Leon on the show Empire, approached the Chicago Police Department to report a hate crime. According to himself, 2 unknown individuals appeared from the shadows and began harassing Jussie. They flung racial and homophobic slurs at Smollett, while one attacker poured a flammable substance on him, and the other began to insert his head into some rope. News of this altercation made headlines in the following days, as it was announced that an investigation would be made to help piece together what exactly happened. Well, too bad for Jussie, the Chicago PD are pretty good at their jobs. They quickly found that the 2 strangers in question were 2 Nigerian brothers named Abimbola and Olambinjo, who had worked as extras on the set of Empire. They raided the brothers' home and found documents confirming the pair had been paid $3,500 each to stage the event. They had video footage of the brothers purchasing the masks, gloves, and hats that are seen in the altercation footage. They also found receipts for the liquid and rope used during the attack. Hey, not a great time to keep track of your finances, guys. In 2019, Smollett was charged with a Class 4 felony for filing a false police report, and on top of that, the Chicago PD was suing him for $130,000 for wasting their time and resources on a fake incident. In the end, he spent 150 days in jail and coughed up a lot of the cash. Number 6. Kylie Cosmetics. Kylie Jenner is the youngest of the Kardashian clan and is extremely successful for her age. In 2019, she made the cover of Forbes magazine as the youngest self-made billionaire ever, following the successful partnership between her cosmetic brand and Ulta, a beauty salon company, which would allow the brand previously only available online and in random pop-up stores to be placed on shelves and in Ulta's 1,000 plus stores. This is unfortunate considering the true nature of just where these products come from. You see, rumors of Kylie's mistreatment for her employees were circulating for weeks after several claims from former employees were made public. It turns out every single thing that they said was true. Many people at the factory that mixed and packaged her makeup and beauty products would report that they were never actually given proper safety equipment that you would require to do that job. They were only given hairnets, lab coats, and safety goggles, leaving their hands and faces completely exposed. Workers would regularly report migraines and chemical burns varying in severity. Now, if this isn't bad enough, they were also forced to act as human test subjects for Kylie's new products. This woman was on the cover of Forbes magazine. She was so proud of her company for not testing products on animals, but like, can we agree that using people is like a billion times worse? Number 5. King Charles's affair. The recently crowned King of England has not always played by the rules. In 1981, Prince Charles married Lady Diana, who was 20 years old at the time, leaving a 13-year age gap between them. Behind closed doors, it was speculated that Charles was never actually in love with Diana in the first place, and that was later proven to be true. While things seemed pleasant on the outside, behind the scenes, Charles was secretly meeting up and having an affair with his ex-girlfriend Camilla Bowles. The alleged relationship was written about in the 1992 Diana her true story, but in 1994 Charles actually confirmed the allegations in a documentary, because that's the perfect place to do it. The couple filed for a divorce in 1996 and Diana died 1 year later. While the now king made it clear that he had no plans to remarry, he ended up getting remarried in 2005 to, oh hey look, it's Camilla Bowles, shocking. Number 4. Arnold's love child. Action movie star and former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger made headlines in 2011 with the revelation that an old rumor was in fact true. In 1996, Arnold was married to Maria Shriver, a member of the Kennedy family, and they were prepping to welcome their new son Christopher into the world. Arnie didn't prep by building them cribs or baby-proofing the outlets though. Instead, he decided to have an affair with his longtime housekeeper Mildred Baina. Around the same time Christopher was born, so was his illegitimate son, Joseph. Rumors began to rise after his wife noticed the strange and sudden absence of the housekeeper and wondered if there might have been a more sinister reason for her departure. It was later revealed in 2011 that Arnold decided to address those rumors and claim Joseph as his own. Turns out Arnold had given Mildred a large severance package back in the day so she could properly raise their son, leaving on what they call good terms. Well, eventually, after many years of trying and lots of paperwork, Maria and Arnold were divorced and he's now able to spend more time as a papa. Number 3. Donald Trump's criminal activities. In 2006, Donald Trump was known solely as a wealthy real estate mogul with a hit reality TV show, The Apprentice. He had recently been married to one Melania Trump and they had a newly born 4-month-old baby. However, reports leaked that Trump was in the midst of an affair with adult film star Stormy Daniels after she filed a civil suit claiming the contract he made her sign to keep quiet was invalid. Daniels claimed that herself and Trump had shared an intimate relationship for roughly a year during his marriage to Melania. These weren't the first allegations of an affair, as Trump has been back and forth in the media since the 1970s, being accused by like 26 women of misconduct. While these rumors never held any merit at first, the truth was finally set free. After being the most chaotic president in recent history, it was announced in March that Trump was going to be arrested on 34 separate violations of a New York law against falsifying business documents to conceal another crime. Over the years, he was essentially taking company money and using it to pay off anyone who may have been a threat to him, both personally or politically. Thanks for the free money, Donnie. Number 2. Paula Deen. Paula Deen is basically Martha Stewart just from the South. Paula opened her first restaurant in a Best Western lodge in Savannah and called it The Lady in 1991. She went on to own and operate several of her own restaurants, as well as hosting a very popular cooking show called Paula's Home Cookin'. Paula shared her recipes for delicious home-cooked meals and took the cooking world by storm, until 2013 when it was revealed that maybe Paula shouldn't be allowed to have a phone. Rumors had been circulating of a more sinister persona buried beneath the warm, sweet Southern lady we saw on TV, and it turned out those rumors were confirmed by Paula herself. Paula admitted to using racial slurs on her social media posts in the past. She would post these rants and aggressive comments, and then she would just immediately delete them to avoid being blasted in the media. Well, hey, the internet's forever, Paula, and Paula's cooking show got cancelled. It's all good though. She started another show on the very successful streaming device Roku. So popular, just so popular. Number 1. Michael Richards. Michael Richards played one of the most famous sitcom characters of all time on one of the most famous sitcoms of all time. He played Cosmo Kramer on the show Seinfeld for 9 years, and in that time made fans laugh and cry with his hilarious antics and wild lifestyle. Unfortunately, those laughs and cries turned to boos and anger. In 2006, Michael made an appearance at the Laugh Factory in California, where he went on a racially fueled tirade after responding to a heckler in the audience. Rumors of his bias had been circulating for a few years, as Richard wasn't a stranger to using choice words and phrases in his stand-up acts that were considered offensive and racist. Since the reveal of his true behavior, Richards has received an enormous amount of backlash and has given up comedy for good. He was also brought on as a guest on Jerry Seinfeld's popular show Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee and addressed the situation with Seinfeld. Richards seemed very apologetic and he understood that what he said and did was wrong. But hey man, the words that he spoke that night still circulate the internet to this day. So, sorry Michael.